What is good, fam? It is your boy Anthony Lynn, and this is Anthony Lynn Unfiltered. Man, I've been loving this show. Anyway, today we talking Stephen A. Smith and his reaction to the Donald Trump ape scandal, posting pictures of Obama. You guys know I don't like too much fluff, so let's get straight into it, and I'll give you my reaction on the flip side.
By saying it apparently was AI generated. It was an AI generated clip portraying Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. In a statement sent to Deadline, the White House press secretary said, quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." To Karoline Leavitt, are you black?
I don't agree with Stephen A. too much. Actually, I do, man. I think he's a really bright dude. Don't know if I vote for him for president. I'd like to see him in some type of other office first, handle some type of other responsibilities. But that right there, yeah, you can't tell other people when they're supposed to be outraged. You can't hit your wife and then ask, what are you screaming and yelling about? Why are you mad? No, you do something to somebody, it's that person. Man, at least somebody else said it, man.
I'm being facetious, obviously. Who are you to say it's fake? Who are you to say the outrage is fake? Who are you to say something like that? And who are you to say, let's get to matters that actually really, really matter to the American public? Do you believe that it shouldn't matter if the American public is led to believe that the President of the United States is referring to a former president and the former First Lady as apes?
What in the hell are you talking about? It does matter, and FYI, I am the American people. Period. Full stop. I am the American people. So I get to decide what it is I am outraged about.
He's engaging in such disgusting and classless behavior? You think that doesn't matter? Because I'm here to tell you it does. Now, the White House, again, is going to be about the business of denying what's going on. CBS News has reported on it. The New York Times has reported on it. Forbes magazine has reported on it. Everybody's going to be reporting on it because it's disgusting, it's classless, there's no place for it at any point towards anyone in our society, and we get all of that. But as it pertains to this president, it gets a bit worse. Because here's the reality of the situation. We live in a society where they talk about you being innocent until proven guilty, and making sure that we don't attach levels of guilt towards you without some substantive evidence. And even then, we want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Here's the question. Why the hell should anybody give the president the benefit of the doubt?
I did not get the benefit of the doubt.
Because, see, this is where your past behavior all comes into play.
Yes.
The pettiness.
Yes.
The kind of nonsense that you've engaged in.
Yes.
Remember when Elijah Cummings, the representative out of Maryland, passed away a few years ago? And the president was seen saying, well, he wasn't very nice to me. And that's why he didn't speak kindly about the deceased Elijah Cummings at that particular moment in time.
I do recall that. Okay, fair enough. You have no obligation to speak kindly towards Elijah Cummings, Representative Elijah Cummings, the same way that people don't have any obligation to speak kind towards Charlie Kirk. If you don't like somebody, you don't like them. That's in life or in after life. When everything's said and done, though, this is who Donald Trump is. And I think that this is a clear pattern. This is a clear pattern. This is who Donald Trump is. So while I don't agree with Stephen A. on a lot of things, on this one, I think he hit the nail right on the head. I think let's just keep it 100, man. Stephen A. he say some crazy shit sometimes. He really do. He really do. I like the brother. You know, and I hope he does get into politics. I hope he just shows me something more ground level before he got big aspirations. He really does. Anyway, we're not going to do too much more of this video, man. Give me a little bit more. I just want to get a little bit more of his reaction, then we're going to get on.
We don't have to bring up the abundance of things he said about other folks. We don't have to even bring up the fact that one could easily argue that as it pertains to the black community, whether it's the Smithsonian Museum or anything else, there's a concerted effort to erase an attachment and a connection to black history. Why? Because that wouldn't be good for white people. We've heard the president allude to what's to the detriment of white folks and how he laments that from time to time, which is why there's a concerted effort to reverse history, or at least our connection to it. And how do you do so? Because future generations, if you don't have access to stuff in libraries, if you don't have access to stuff in schools, if you don't have access to stuff online and beyond, guess what? They would never be informed. And as a result, for future generations to come, it'll erase the iniquities that were committed.
Yeah, he's right on that. And I know a lot of people, on one hand, you say that you want to make it a race-neutral society. You want it to be racially blind. Race doesn't exist. Don't worry about it. We don't need a BET or a black entertainment television. And I'm like, well, if you don't like BET, you just don't have to watch it. But why do you want to destroy it? Why do you want to take it? Right? As far as white entertainment TV, I mean, CBS, ABC, Fox News, you got millions and millions and millions of channels that reflect you and your culture. Can I have one? Can I get one? I mean, that's not too much to ask. But even when it comes down to history, honestly, I think that those that do not study history are doomed to repeat it. And when you pull all that history out, and you have people walking around not concerned about civil rights. They didn't have to fight for them. They don't remember them. And it's not in the history books for them to have to be concerned about. It's so much easier to take away them rights then. Think about it. And I'm not saying that that's what they're trying to do, but that's what they're trying to do. That is exactly what they're trying to do. And even with us, systematically, I think that Donald Trump just systematically, not black or Mexican or anything else, just systematically, he wants to erode civil liberties in America. He's used to being a CEO. He is used to running it from the top. And what I say goes. And if I say I want the janitor fired, he's walking out that building tonight. Well, presidency doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And I think it's taken him a quick minute to figure that out. But there was a few other issues that I actually had with this actual tape. So to get into my reaction part of this video, man, I did like the video. The only thing I didn't like about it is he's not targeting the right person. We're done talking about Donald Trump. All right. This is about the Republican Party because they are co-signing this shit. Everybody in the Republican Party is co-signing it. Your silence is a co-sign to this. I do not want an apology. The man's already said, I ain't going to apologize. So anything he says after that point would be disingenuous at best. It would be insincere at worst. Why insult me like that? But you know what would make me happy? It's time to get rid of him. In my mind, Donald Trump is officially a lame duck president. And if Congress and the House don't step up and take power back from that man, if even with the Supreme Court, if they do not start pitting brakes and checks on this man, then we can use the legislature to start pitting brakes and checks on the Supreme Court. Yeah, 10-year terms could be a real thing, Supreme Court. Laws can change. Your positions are not guaranteed forever. The United States Constitution, as Donald Trump has made 110% clear, is just a piece of parchment paper with some ink on it. That's all it is, right? Just a piece of parchment paper with some ink on it. So,
by
Stephen A., what
other
do you have to
folks
say?
in our society for decades, if not centuries. Everything that folks were lamenting about, he brings into play. When you talk about ICE and what's been going on in the streets of Portland, Chicago, Los Angeles,
The SS?
and most recently Minneapolis, and you hear people talking about how colored people are being stopped on the streets, how they're devoid of search warrants when ICE approaches them, and ICE agents don't have search warrants. When they're talking about not being allowed to wear masks because you've been wearing masks and hiding your.
All right, man, let's keep it 100. That's been going on in the black community. We've been getting raided. They've been having tanks, literal tanks, rolling down our streets with a whole bunch of masked men with military-style gear kick in our doors behind narcotics. The war on drugs, it was a very real thing, and a lot of our constitutional rights were eroded. All right, I lived through it. I was there. Was I dead wrong? Yeah. Yeah, I was dead wrong. I shouldn't have been out there in them streets like that, guys. But they was wrong too. Two wrongs definitely doesn't make a right. At least I'm man enough to admit my wrong, right? But if I'm wrong, hop in the comments and we could bang it out there. Guess what, guys? We can continue this discussion in the comments. As always, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna pop a subscribe up here, right? Like right there. I'm gonna put a subscribe. Hit that link. That'll get you straight to the subscribe. And a video. There's a video over here. Take you to the next video. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I'll holler at you guys then.